What's going on, guys? My name's Josh and I'm back today with another video. So if you've been with me for a while, you know typically the type of videos I make will be movie reviews. I'll review some TV shows. But one thing you guys actually don't know about me is I'm a huge reality TV show fan. I love Big Brother. I love The Challenge. I love Real World. And actually one of my favorite seasons of The Real World is Real World New Orleans. And it's been super exciting because Paramount Plus has been doing these Real World Homecoming series where they reunite the cast and kind of get them back together. First it was New York, then it was Los Angeles, and I'm super happy because they're actually just premiered Real World Homecoming New Orleans. So my favorite Real World season, they just pretty much reunited the cast. So I figured, I'm not doing any videos right now. I'm going to do some recaps of, the Real World Homecoming New Orleans series. I'm super excited because I love this show and I just figured this would be something fun. So before we get started, if you could please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Then you better watch out because it's time to get this video started. Let's go. You guys would like to follow me on social media at all, my Instagram handle is Bring On The Night, so bring 0N The Night. But yes, guys, I'm a huge Real World New Orleans fan. The show actually came out in 2000. I was about 15 years old. It was actually the first season of Real World that I ever watched, and I loved it. I just thought everyone was so cool, and first of all, my favorite cast member was definitely Melissa. I thought Melissa was hilarious. She definitely made me laugh a lot, and yeah, I just thought she was so cool. I also really like Danny as well. First of all, if you were a gay teenager when this show came out, you definitely had a crush on Danny. I was definitely included in that, and I thought he was so cute. And also, I love Julie in the show as well. Julie was this kind of Mormon character who was very sheltered, but you kind of get to see her go to New Orleans and just trying to figure life out for herself. Also, I really like Julie as well. Also, I liked Kelly on the show. Kelly, it was actually funny because after the Real World New Orleans, she actually married Scott Wolf, and Scott Wolf actually played on the show Party of Five, and he actually played with Neve Campbell. He played Neve Campbell's brother in Party of Five. So I just thought, yeah, that was really cool that, Kelly married Scott Wolf, and she kind of had that Party of Five connection as well. If you know me, I'm a huge Neve Campbell fan, and I loved the show Party of Five, so I loved that she had that connection. And as far as the rest of the cast, I loved everyone in the cast. David, from what I remember, he didn't always get along with his roommates, but it definitely made for, good TV just to kind of see him drive his roommates crazy. First of all, I love David's song that he came up with, Dwee Baba Dee. I can't even say it, but it was just really, really funny. It's really funny to go back and listen to now. I like Jamie on the show. The only one who kind of drove me a little bit nuts was Matt. Matt was kind of religious. I didn't always agree with his opinions, but even Matt, I really liked everyone. I feel like this was a good cast and a really good season. So yeah, I'm super excited that, yeah, they're reuniting and we're getting Real World New Orleans, Homecoming, New Orleans.
This is the true story.
True story.
True story.
Of 7 strangers
Picked to live together again. This is a really bad idea.
have their lives taped to find out
What happens
when people stop being polite
and start getting real.
Someone be my baby tonight.
Real World Homecoming New Orleans.
So what did I think of the first episode? I gotta say, I loved the first episode. It was so good seeing everyone again. It's been 20 years, which is crazy. But yeah, it was so good to kind of catch up, see where their lives are. But this episode was definitely full of drama, mainly drama between Julie and Melissa and Danny. But yeah, overall, this was a really, really good episode. So pretty much the episode starts out with, we kind of see everyone all coming back to New Orleans. And up until this point, it seems like everyone's been kind of living their separate lives. After the show, they kind of just went to their own lives. They're all have families now. The only one who I don't think has kids is David, who now goes by Tokyo. But yeah, everyone else has kids or is married. And yeah, so we all see them kind of go back to New Orleans. And what's cool is the full cast is coming back. No one's missing out. So all 7 of the cast members are returning. It was very good to kind of see Melissa and Danny together again, especially when they see each other and them go to the house. I just feel like they have a really good chemistry. And yeah, I love seeing them together. Yeah, we slowly see everyone kind of arrive to the house, see kind of how everyone's life's doing. Julie actually hasn't talked to pretty much all of the cast since the show. Mainly, she doesn't talk to Danny and Melissa. And pretty much on the last challenge, Melissa, so there was some kind of deal where Melissa confronted Julie about Julie kind of getting Melissa fired from some kind of college gig, or some kind of college lecture. So Melissa pretty much told her off and told her she doesn't want anything to do with her. And that was their last interaction, was like on that challenge. So now Julie's kind of really nervous about going to this house because she knows a lot of them don't like her, and it's been 20 years, and she's just kind of nervous to go back in the house. But yeah, overall it was kind of really good to kind of see all the cast get together again. We then see, so for the first to arrive to the house is Melissa and Danny, followed by Kelly. And Kelly's just saying she wants to be really vulnerable this time around. Next, we see David show up, or I keep calling David, Tokyo show up. And it seems like Tokyo, the first time around, he was not really present. But it seems like a lot different this time. He definitely seems more open to the experience. He definitely feels present. And he gives all of them a big hug. And you can tell he's really missed them. And he's really excited for this opportunity. So it was really nice seeing that moment between, Tokyo giving Kelly a hug, Danny and Melissa. Next we see Matt show up. Matt's now, before when he was on the show, he was a virgin. He was waiting to marriage. He's now married. He has 6 kids. We then see Jamie show up. Jamie is kind of settled down as well. And last to show up is Julie. And yeah, everyone's kind of talking about how they don't really talk to Julie. Julie kind of shows up. She's nervous. And we kind of get everyone all together. There's definitely tension, between them. Julie kind of gives everyone else a hug. She tries to apologize to Danny, but it's right when she comes into the house, so it's kind of awkward. She kind of says hi to Melissa. She doesn't hug her, but she says hi. They're all kind of sitting outside, and then there's a moment where, Melissa's reading this TV Guide magazine talking about where Julie and Melissa were supposed to move in together. And then pretty much Julie's like, Melissa's like, I moved to LA, but Julie didn't. And Julie's like, I moved in, don't you remember it? And Julie kind of got offended that Melissa forgot that, she moved to LA too. We then later see, there's this a couch, and there's pretty much a message on the TV that says incoming messages. It'll play lots of clips from the original show, and the roommates will have to talk about it. And pretty much the clip plays, and they play some of the shows or some of the clips from the show, and then they kind of get talking, and then Julie confronts Melissa about, you don't remember me moving to LA? And then this is where Melissa kind of says, hey, I forgot you moved to LA because, after you did bad stuff to me, I stopped thinking about you. And she kind of put a boundary and kind of cut her off. And this kind of leads into, Julie and Melissa kind of confronting this problem. So I guess, from Melissa and Danny's perspective, because they both have a similar issue, Julie kind of sabotaged some of their lectures that they were going to do, their college lectures. Julie kind of got them fired and badmouthed them, and then they found out about this. This happened to Melissa, and then also happened to Danny, where Danny said that, Julie wrote a letter about him, just saying he was painted him out to be like a horrible, just horrible person, and just a horrible gay is pretty much what she painted him out as. They confront her on this, and Julie immediately is kind of just really defensive, and she's asking for the proof of this letter. She wants to see the letter. She doesn't think she did it. She didn't write this letter. She doesn't know who wrote this letter, and she's just immediately defensive and not really accepting their apology. Just from listening to both sides of the story, I definitely believe, Danny and Melissa. I do think Julie did kind of sabotage them and got them fired. So definitely I see why they're angry with her, because, this was someone close to them, and she got them fired from this, from jobs. And it was someone they thought was a close friend. And I just feel like Julie, if this is true, she needs to first of all, she needs to listen to them and just kind of sit back, listen to them. I feel like she's so quick they're making their points, and she's so quick to try to defend herself that she's not listening. I think she just needs to kind of take a seat back, listen to them, and then really take ownership of the issue. But she's just coming off so defensive that they're not really getting anywhere. She starts to cry. Eventually she goes up to her room, and it was really cool though because Tokyo eventually goes up there, and he's really the voice of reason, and he's trying to get Julie to see their perspective on how they're hurt, and really being the voice of reason. And with him talking to her, and pretty much she firmly believes that she didn't write this letter, but then maybe one of her managers wrote the letter, and he's trying to make the point of no matter who wrote the letter, whether it was you or someone from your party, you're responsible for that, and you got to acknowledge that their feelings are hurt. And he kind of gets her to calm down, and it kind of, the episode ends with, Julie gonna go to Melissa's room to, try to talk to Melissa and apologize. It makes me kind of sad though, because I loved, Julie and Melissa's friendship in the original show, and even Julie with Danny. So it's really sad to see that they haven't talked in 20 years. Like I said, I definitely can see why, Danny and Melissa don't talk to Julie anymore, especially since she kind of screwed them over. But I still like Julie, and I do kind of feel bad for her because she's really upset. But if she really did do those things, I think she just needs to own it and apologize. I really would love if they could kind of get over this and become friends again, or there could be some kind of, path forward where they can maybe not become best friends, but become friendly again. But so far, it does not look like that's going to happen. But yeah, overall, this was a really good first episode. Definitely lots of drama. I feel bad for Julie, and I don't. I really do like Julie. And you can tell she's really hurt, but she also caused, I feel like, a lot of hurt with the other roommate. So I don't know. Like I said, I can see why they're upset with her, but I just really want them all to work it out. But I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath, especially after we saw the trailer of like what the rest of the season's going to be like. It definitely seems like there's going to be a lot of drama with Julie as well. But yeah, overall, I feel like this was a really good first episode. I loved seeing all the cast kind of get together again, and yeah, my favorite season. But what did you guys think? Did you watch the first episode? Did you watch the original season of New Orleans? Did you watch the Homecoming episode of New Orleans? What did you think? Who are your favorite cast members? Whose side are you on? Do you definitely believe, Danny and Melissa? Do you believe Julie could be innocent? Please leave your comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching.